Hi there, and welcome to this week's live in the Separation Club. I am sorry I'm a few minutes late. I just wanted to get everything set up right, and I don't know, my setup wasn't really working. Anyway, today I wanted to talk to you about, like my heading says, I want to talk to you about, or I want to actually ask you a question. When you first separated, did you think that everything was just automatically going to become easier? Like, it depends, of course, on whether you want the separation or not. I personally, as a result of an affair, second affair, I chose to end my marriage. Not that I wanted that to happen in my life, but I no longer wanted to be married to him. So that was technically my choice at the marriage end. But and I have to say, I thought once we're separated and he moves out, everything will get easier, because the horrible time that I had. Hi everybody, hi Kim, hi Cheryl, it's nice to see you guys again. I just thought all the awful things that had been leading up to this, suddenly everything was just going to be better because he wasn't going to be there. And on some level, I will say that the relief that I felt immediately when he moved out, for example, certainly was a lot. Like it was really nice to know that he wasn't going to be there every day and I could go to bed alone. And there were definitely some things that I was excited about and that felt better. But that sort of euphoric relief was very short-lived. The nastiness then really started. And I think the thing that we sometimes don't take into account, depending again on how things are happening, is that once the marriage has fully broken down, and in a way there's nothing in it for anyone anymore, and your ex might be losing sort of whatever emotional hold or control that he may have had on you, things get worse because they're trying to hang on to that control. They're also going through a lot. And I know we sometimes forget that. And this is not about having a pity party for your ex, by the way. I'm not into that. But as much as you are reeling and your head is spinning and your emotions are off the charts, his are too, okay? He might come across calmer and he might seem very mean and aggressive. Depending on the guy you used to be with. But understand they're also going through their own personal hell, okay? And unfortunately, they might not be displaying their best behavior because of that, okay? So the thing that I really want to say to you is this is the time to focus on you, okay? To really bring it into your self-care. And I'm not just talking about workouts here, okay? Because a lot of people, when I talk about self-care, maybe because I'm a personal trainer, they right away think, oh gosh, she just wants me to work out. Well, I do, but that's not the only thing. There's so much more to self-care. The reason exercise is one of those steps is because it's something that's really good for you, that you make a decision to do for yourself. But there's a number of things that you can do to take care of yourself. And I'm not really getting into all that today. I actually did a bit of that last week. So if you want to check out last week's live, I did then talk quite a bit about some steps you can take, some self-care steps to make things feel better. But I kind of want to address today this feeling, that this disappointment we might feel, this sort of, anticlimactic sort of experience right after that separation has happened. Because I spoke with a woman a couple of months ago, and that was one of the first things she said to me, and it really hit me. She's so right. She said, I really thought that everything would get easier once we had separated, once a decision had been made and they were moving forward. But she said things got so much harder. And I know, just from having chatted with her more recently as well, I know that things are still getting harder. And that is true for so many of you. And it was certainly true for me. So yes, I felt some relief that that decision had been made and that I was moving forward. There was definitely that, but there was there was so much unpleasantness and hostility and horrible things that happened and were said. It actually became really difficult. So I don't know if any others of you experienced this on any level. I'd love to hear from you if you did and what your experience was. Every now and then we do hear those wonderful stories about people who actually handle this very well on both sides. And then, it really is a different experience. But if things are not working out that way for you, which they weren't for me, and they are not, from what I hear, for a lot of you, it is really important to turn the focus away from that negative stuff and really kind of bring it home to focusing on yourself and your self-care. And I know you're focusing on your kids. I don't even have to tell you to do that. They're probably top of priority right now, making sure they're okay if you do have them. But I want you to be on top of that list as well, okay? Not above, not below. I want you just simply on top of the list. You'll be a better mother. You'll just feel better about yourself. Everything gets better. So I want you to think of this current situation, your separation, all these things that are happening right now. I want you to think of it as the launch pad for your new life, okay? I want you to launch a massive taking care of me campaign, okay? And when I say campaign, I'm using that word because a campaign implies that we're doing more than one thing, okay? So you are now launching the taking care of me campaign, okay? So I'm gonna say a campaign has to have at least 3 components to it, okay? So for example, I'm going to meditate, I'm going to take a course, and I'm going to start exercising. That would be 3 things, all right? That is a campaign of taking care of me, a self-care campaign, if you will, okay? And I want you to start doing really specific things that are good for you and that will make you feel better. And as much as I know that these things help, I don't consider, you've probably heard me say this before and you'll hear me say it again, I don't consider a spa day, like, having your nails done, or even the girls' night out to be self-care. Necessary? Yes. Do we need that release and that outlet? Sometimes do we need someone taking care of our nails? Sure. Wonderful. I'm not saying not to do those things, but I want you to take much more deliberate and probably more difficult action to help yourself, okay? Because getting your nails done isn't something that's going to change how you feel beyond when you're sitting in there. I want you to do things that are going to have an impact on your life even after you've stopped doing them. Like when you're done doing them, 3 days later, you're still going to feel better because you did that kind of stuff, okay? So start doing real specific things. Are you ready to launch this campaign? Yeah? Are you with me? So one of the reasons I want to talk about this, and I know some of you were part of it, but for those of you who weren't, I ran this free workshop over the last week. I ran it 4 times, and oh, what an experience to be able to talk about all these things at greater length. So there, the workshop is about an hour long, and I talk about a lot of different things sort of related to like how to start moving forward. I focused on things like self-love, overcoming fears, and moving forward, kind of taking control back in your life, because we all feel like things are sort of spinning out of control. And this was sort of an introduction into the Separation Academy, which, by the way, the doors are now open, and the course starts running on Monday, so there's still an opportunity to jump into it, but I'll talk more about that a little later. What I talked about in the workshop, to give people a sense of what they could expect, I show them new daily habits that they can use and implement to reconnect with themselves, so that once again, or perhaps for the first time, you can live life on your terms according to your value system, pursuing your dreams. When is the last time, hand up, okay, when is the last time you thought about your happiness and focused on what's important to you? Like simply, what matters to me? What is it that I really would like to be doing? What are some of the things that I gave up because he didn't like it or didn't work for us, but that I always wanted to do? I want you to get back to those things, okay? Remember, this is a launch pad for your new life, okay? So we're launching a campaign here. We can include a couple of things. Not everything's going to happen right away, but I want you to start thinking about them. I want you to have a clear understanding of what those things are, okay? Are you with me? All right. I also focused a lot on overcoming fears. And one of the reasons I did that is because that was a huge thing for me. It really stood in my way. I was so afraid of everything. I felt like when my marriage ended, I felt like somebody had pulled the rug from under me and I was free falling. I was simply falling. I didn't know where I was going to land. All I knew that it was not going to be a soft landing. It was going to be horrible, and I just didn't know what it looked like, and I was going to be hurt. It was just such a difficult and such a horrible feeling. And I wouldn't say I'm a control freak, but I like to have control of my life. I like to know what to expect tomorrow and the day after. I like to have an understanding of where I'm going. And suddenly I had lost it all, okay? And it did not feel good. So I started looking at my fears, and this is something I really focus quite a bit on in the workshop, because inside our fears are lessons, okay? The things that we are afraid of tell us a lot about ourselves. And when we learn what we're really afraid of, not just sort of that surface fear that we're addressing, but what we're really afraid of, that's when you can make a change and overcome that fear. So that's something that, for no other reason, jump into that workshop and hear that, because it was a great section, and it really was of such great benefit to so many. And I can tell you, overcoming my fears by first understanding them and then overcoming them, it was such an empowering experience, and I really want you to share it as well. And hello to all of you who are coming on. It's great to see you here. Okay, so the last thing that I discussed in the workshop was the power of surrounding yourself with positive people. And this, by the way, is where the girls' night out comes in. So you want to make sure when you're going through this very difficult time to really be focusing on surrounding yourself with positive people and positive experiences, so that things, so you're opening yourself to positive things and kind of pushing the negative out. Now, in order to push the negative out, we have to walk away from the bad experience. So I know some horrible things have happened, and there might even be horrible things still happening. And yes, we do need to jump into the muck every now and then. We need to go through all that. We need to talk about it, get it out of our system, get some support from our friends. Yes, I get it. But then it has to stop. Because if we stay in the muck, okay, then we are embracing being a victim. Then we become a victim of what happened to us and what he is doing or did do or will continue to do. We are allowing it in, and in fact, we're allowing it to be our story. We're walking around with this big thing on our shoulder going, I have had a horrible experience. I've been hurt. I've been damaged. This happened to me, and I'm going to focus on that. Or we kick that monkey off our back or whatever. We get rid of that continuous rehashing of the story and reliving what happened and focusing on that, and we rather push it away and we walk forward. And by opening ourselves up to the light, by getting rid of that stuff, we actually automatically open ourselves up to positive experiences, to people who bring positive feelings into your life, okay? When we bring new people in who are positive and we're focusing on those things, we will grow and be fueled by their joy and their positivity and their love, right? And I'm not talking about other relationships here, like new boyfriends. I'm talking about friendships and just people who bring good energy into your life. When you're in a crowd, there's certain people that you're drawn to. These are high energy people. Not like, wow, I can do so much in a day. I mean like positive, high frequency, high energy people. These are great people for you to be around. They will bring you up to them instead of pulling you down into that bad place. So if you feel like the rug has been pulled from under you, you're free falling, your life is kind of in a little bit of a nosedive, let's stop that. Like, just put a giant screaming halt to that and start opening yourself up to something new. By letting go of the old story, you can let the new story in, okay? And that's what I want for you. So I'm really hoping that you might want to hear that, my workshop that I talked about. And yes, I am going to talk to you a little bit about the Separation Academy. So if the things that I've just talked about with you resonated with you at all, like if any of it made sense and you were thinking, oh yes, that sounds a bit like me, okay, even just a little bit, I really think you could benefit from this free workshop. So I'm because you are in my special separation group, I want to extend you an opportunity to hear it, okay, the replay version. So you won't get the live version because that's what was happening this week, but you can hear the replay. So if you're interested in that at all, it's free. It's a free workshop where I help you out. just message me below in the comments or send me a private message and say, yes, I would like the free workshop, and I will send you a link to it. All right. And then you can hear the workshop, and you will hear me talking about the Separation Academy at the end. And no, I don't want this to be a sales pitch, but I would love for you to hear about it, and then you can let me know what you think. But if nothing else, the workshop is free. You will learn so much in there to get you moving forward, letting go of the victim mentality, kind of letting go of some of that bad stuff that's hanging around, and start feeling positive and open again. How does that sound to you? I'm excited, and I'm really hoping to see you in there. So I'm going to let you go. I don't know if you can hear the barking in the background, but that's my puppy who's woken up early from his nap. Yes, he has morning naps like little babies do, okay? I'm back to that. But I have shared with you everything I wanted to talk to you about today. Like I said, message me either in the comments below, say, yes, I'm interested, and I will send you the link to the workshop. I just need your email address. Or you can send me a private message if you don't want to put your email below here. You can send me a private message and send me your email, and I will send you a link to the replay of the workshop. It's free. You can watch it. You can learn from it. And I would love for you to pop back in here and let me know what you think. Okay? So I wish you the most wonderful day. We have the weekend coming up. Summer is approaching. It is raining as usual around here today. I don't know where you are, but I am so tired of this rain. But hopefully we're getting some sun and warmth soon. I wish you the very best day. I wish you a wonderful weekend. Let's bring the light in a little bit, shall we? And step out of the muck. Okay? All the best to you.